Good afternoon, everyone. Matt from Life Begins at 50 and 462 Days. I hope you are all safe and well. Welcome to spring and welcome to Great Ayton. Great Ayton, a beautiful, beautiful town located on the eastern fringes of the North Yorkshire Moors. Famously known for the fact that young James Cook lived in Great Ayton between 1736 and 1745. James Cook later became Captain James Cook, one of the most famous maritime explorers. And just behind me, just there where the white van is a bronze statue of young James looking towards the east coast. And it was from here that his love of the sea became his passion to explore the seas. So today, my friends, is my first walk of spring, March 2021, just a few days away from when the country went into full lockdown in 2020. In fact, let's go and have a look at young James Cook, shall we? Let's see what he's up to today. Let me also show you, this is the main square around Great Ayton. Beautiful, beautiful architecture all the way around this really well-maintained and well-kept village green. Also just behind me here as well is the most wonderful metal wire woven statue, a remembrance to those, I believe, who fought in the First and Second World Wars. Let's go and have a look at that as well. So, here we are. Here is young James Cook looking east towards the North Sea. And over here, we have this most magnificent, it's all woven statue of what looks like either a First or a Second World War soldier. I love stuff like that. You don't learn stuff like that in school or colleges. You learn stuff like that by getting out and about and exploring. And that, my friends, is what we're going to do today. So, Great Ayton is the start of today's walk. It's more of a make it up as you go along kind of walk, if I'm honest with you. We're going to head in the general direction of Rosebery Topping, favourite place of mine. And it's more about taking in the wonderful season of spring. And I love this time of year. I love the colours. I love the fact that nature is reborn again, getting ready for summer. It breathes optimism. It's not a perfect spring day. There's a shroud of cloud covering the sun today, which is just holding it back, but every now and again you get little breakthroughs and it's lovely. Spring is arriving next week, apparently, on Monday, where we're in for some really nice weather. Let me again just give you a little swing round and show you where we are today. Look at those beautiful houses and these lovely, lovely little cottages just behind me here. How about living there, my friends, eh? Isn't that beautiful? One of them is called Ivy Cottage, the other one's called Nutshell, and then there's another one called Acorn. Isn't that beautiful? And then Crook Cottage. Have a little look. Look at those beautiful houses. So, if you've got an hour or so to spend today, why don't you come walking with me? Enjoy nature. Enjoy everything that is waiting for us in the outside world this time of year. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be out for a couple of hours. I don't know how far we're walking today, but this hike or this explore is more to do with enjoying the miles rather than putting the miles in, if that makes sense. So we're going to head off to the western end of Great Ayton, where we're going to pick up the footpath, which will take us to one of my favourite footpaths, which heads towards Rosebery Topping. There'll be plenty to see, plenty of daffodils, plenty of snowdrops, crocuses coming through now as well. Bluebells are still a few weeks away. Needs to be a bit warmer for the bluebells to come through, but they won't be long. Perfect opportunity to come back again, I reckon. So let's get going, and I'll see you all in a little while. Take care. Welcome back, and welcome to Cliff Ridge Woods, or Cliff Rig Woods. Cliff Rig, Cliff Ridge, both the same. Rig meaning ridge, ridge meaning rig, depending on whether you're going forwards or backwards in time. Now, light-hearted statement. It's fair to say there's no bears in these woods, but if somebody could kindly explain what that's all about, I'll be greatly appreciated. That to me looks like something rather large has been scratching against the bark. But anyway, on that note, let's get moving. So, how are we all doing? Facebook, YouTube, followers, friends, family, subscribers, how are you doing? Almost 1 year after lockdown 2020. Did we honestly think we would all be where we are now? I think most people, with a tinge of optimism, thought that COVID would be over within a few weeks, maybe a few months at worst. But here we are, a year on. However, it does appear 1 year on, we seem to be getting a grip of the pandemic. We seem to be understanding more about how it works and how it transmits and what we need to do to make ourselves safe. Excuse me for looking away. It is very, very muddy along here, as you can see. In fact, it's very muddy indeed, so I'm going to have to talk while concentrating on where I'm putting my feet. So, how are you all doing? How are you all coping? What are you all looking forward to doing? Fingers crossed, later in the year. I know what I'm looking forward to doing. I'm looking forward to heading off to some warmer climes. My wife and I and our son Dylan have got some amazing adventures planned for later in the year, so fingers crossed that we can leave the UK and head to foreign borders. I'm also delighted to announce that next week I'm booked in for my first vaccination jab, and I know there's a bit of controversy surrounding the vaccinations at the moment, and some people are very much against it, and I get that and I respect your opinions, but it does seem to be the way forward at the moment. So as a male who is in his early 50s, I was sort of fairly low down the pecking order, and rightly so. For someone in his 50s, I regard myself to be fairly fit and healthy. So there's people that needed the vaccine before me, so fair play. But I am delighted to be booked in next week. Got a nice little trip out to Haxby, to the vaccination centre. That was the nearest one I could find to my village. So there's some amazing walks around Haxby and Kilburn and Revo Abbey and Sutton Bank, so I might even combine my vaccination jab with a walk. I think Ryanair were calling it jab and go, so I think that's what I might do next week, is get my jab and go for a walk if I'm allowed, if that's what you're allowed to do. Again, if you're supposed to rest after your vaccination, let me know, put a little comment in the box, let me know your thoughts on it. Anyway, let me give you a little swing round. Let me show you where I am today. So Cliffridge Woods, we're heading in the direction of Rosebery Topping, and it's a wonder walk today, trying to embrace and appreciate nature and all that nature gives us at this time of year, springtime. Where I'm walking at the moment, you can just start to see the bluebells coming through, breaking through the soil with passion. There's also wild garlic in these woods as well, you can smell it already. It's going to be amazing in a few weeks. Where I'm walking, this corridor, this footpath, in a few weeks' time, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, will be a velvet runway of blue and purple flowers. It will be amazing. Perfect opportunity to come back, as I've said before. So, I'm going to head on, guys, and enjoy the peace and quiet. I hope you're enjoying the walk so far. I know I am. Much needed. It's a way of connecting with nature again. It's a way of realigning your senses and your emotions. Sometimes just to get out and have a wander, embrace nature. I think they call it nature bathing, don't they? Well, I'm certainly not sunbathing out here today because it's not a perfect spring day. It is overcast, but the temperature's good. When I set off today, it was 12, 13 degrees in Great Ayton, so we're getting a nice little warm glow going on, which is always good. So you can wander in all sorts of directions around Cliffridge Woods. As you can see, this is where, just over my shoulder there, that's where I'm going. And just back there, that's where I've come from. And then just up there, you can see, just heading up there, there's another little footpath that heads up onto the top of Cliffridge. But we're heading along the lower path towards Rosebery Topping, and when we get to Rosebery Topping, we'll figure out what we're going to do and where we're going to go from there. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave you all in quiet and peace. I'm going to take some more photos. I've got birds and squirrels looking at me. I feel I'm being watched every step of the way. But hey, they were here before me, so let them watch. See you all in a little while. And please stay tuned, because we've got some more great places to explore today. See you all in a little while. Take care. Bye-bye. It's amazing. It's truly amazing what you can find when you're out and about on a walk. Just have a look at this. Who knew this was here? Someone's taken the trouble to build like a BMX dirt bike track. Let's have a little run down. Should have brought my bike with me. Have a look. Look at this. In the middle of the woods, in the middle of Cliffridge Woods, someone has taken the time to build themselves a cycle jumpway. How cool is that? How cool is that view behind me as well? I know where I'm coming at the weekend. Just need to get my old BMX back. Anyway, let's get going. See you again soon. This information board all about Cliffrig Quarry is kindly provided by the Wildlife Trust, supported by the Heritage Lottery Fund. And if you do come out this way, do take the time to stop and read it. It will tell you so much about the reason why Cliff Rig or Cliff Ridge was quarried and what was quarried out of the ground. This is where you learn stuff, isn't it? It's just a real shame though. Some people have to spoil it for others. If you come out into the countryside, please, 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 I beg you, please, take your rubbish home with you, don't leave it for other people. Think of the animals as well that will be trying to get into those bags, especially this time of year when food can be scarce and thin on the ground. Think of the animals that might get stuck in those bags and cans and tins. Please, take your rubbish with you, enjoy nature. Don't leave it for somebody else to clear up. Another job. You should be ashamed of yourself. Hello again. Firstly, I will apologise in advance if the sound quality of this next vid is poor. We're heading up towards Rosebery Topping. So we've been climbing now for about 2 miles and you can just see over my shoulder up there, there's Rosebery Topping. But I really wanted to jump back on at this point just to explain to you where I am. This farm track, this access track, as it looks, is actually the old Rosebery Tramway, which was part of the quarry system. The tramway was used to cart the stone quarried out of the surrounding hills down towards Great Ayton. So what looks like an innocent farm track would have many years ago during the Industrial Revolution. This would have been a hive of industry, and you can just imagine the noise of the tram carts rattling down here. My understanding is that they used to work on some sort of gravity system, that as one went down with quarry stone, using gravity to descend, it would pull the empty carts back up and it would be a continuous cycle. Quarrying, needless to say, was carried out by the men and the young boys of the surrounding villages and towns. The tramway was actually manned by the women. It was regarded as a not so laborious job for the female. So I'll leave you with that. There's Rosebery Topping, by the way, my friends, and it's very windy. We're not going up Rosebery Topping today because I've been there a few times before, and to be honest, it's a great climb up and a great descent back down, but I've done it so many times. And if you want to explore Rosebery Topping with me, check out my previous walk. I think it's called Walking in a Winter Wonderland and Exploring Rosebery Topping, or Climbing Rosebery Topping. I'll post a link in the comments below. Do check it out, and we go to the top of Rosebery Topping. So, but we're not going to do it today. We're actually heading up onto the Cleveland Way. which is just behind me. Again, you can see my hood blowing up in the wind. We're heading up there onto that ridge. That's the Cleveland Way as it heads east to west or south to north, whichever way you're looking at it, towards the east coast. And we're going to join the Cleveland Way. And we're going to head across to Cribdale Gate, and we may even go up to Captain Cook's Monument. So, but anyway, apologies for the windy noise. Even with a muffler on today, the speaker is picking up everything, the microphone's picking up everything, so I do apologise. But anyway, I'll just leave you with one more view of Rosebery Topping. There you go. If you don't want to go up, just enjoy it while it lasts. There are people climbing up there today, so it's going to be very windy up there. So I'm going to push on. I'll see you all in a little while. Take care. We're about halfway up the stone path now, leading away from Rosebery Topping, that's going to take us up to the Cleveland Way and then on to Cribdale Gate. So that's where we're going. That, my friends, is my view. To my right and directly behind us is the beautiful and infamous Rosebery Topping. Although it's not a sunny day today, the sky is a beautiful array of blanket blue colours set against the greenery. But we've got to keep going, because in the famous words of someone not that famous, I think they said the only way is up. So let's push on to the top, let's keep going, and let's join the Cleveland Way.